Chad is probably one of maybe 3 or 4 people in the whole metro even doing.
Never heard of it. How new is it? Very cool.
That's pretty new. I started doing it about 2 or 3 years ago. Necessity is the mother of invention a lot of times. I had a problem with one municipality in town wanting me to bond my tubs from that electrical charge in the wintertime, where you might walk across the carpet and get a little charge when you touch the water. I was like, you know, which is pretty expensive. Copper was very expensive at that point in time. And some of my tubs were all the way on the other side of the, I mean, it was a $300 or $400 charge, which is tough to pass on to customers after, you know, $300 or $400 here and there, and so on and so forth. So one day I'm watching the tie rebar, and I go, what if I could ground down into this web of rebar that's in here and transfer load into there? It doesn't cost anything, they're there already. They tied it up and it worked, so it evolved.
So it's minimal cost?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already there with the rebar. You know, you have to.
It's standard. It's standard in this house.
Yeah.
Standard.
So in other words, we're like in the strike for the house.
It's going to transfer load down into this.
Even though it's this low, when it goes down into the ground, it's not on the roof.
Correct.
It's still going to keep that house from burning.
It's going to reduce it.
It's going to minimize.
Minimize. That's a good way.
Because I'm sure this house is going to like it.
They'll like it.
Efficient.
The builder, the homeowners will like it. Everybody will like it.
Let's show them the return area.
Now, where did you say this was? I'm interested because it makes it quiet.
What do you got?
Is this?
Oh, because in the old days they would put a bunch of nails across it.
So now that it's
Real soon. I'm with you. Okay, well, as soon as I get back to the office, I'll give you a call. Okay? All right.
Everyone,
I'm gonna send a link to YouTube.
remember he talked about the return air vent that takes it back?
You're returning your
It's
air.
what it's like in the room.
It's unconditioned air is what you would call it. It's going back to get charged, either heated or cooled, and then blown back out in your vents here. So this actually, if it's on, you put a piece of paper up there, it'll suck it up against there.
How come sometimes you see returns up?
It depends on the floor and the position. 2 stories, that type of stuff, it's different. It's the economics of it, the sheet metal. It doesn't make that much of a difference in either area. You just have to be cognizant of what you put in front of it. You put a couch, a few things like that. So it's not bad. Something like this is easy to retro because it's got a panel up above. Let me just keep talking about the materials of the house. Okay, 1/2-inch sheetrock is what we use on the walls typically nowadays. It's come a long way. It's not from China in Kansas City. we use truss roofs upstairs, and we use 5/8-inch sheetrock on those because they're 2 foot on center, so you don't get a sag like that. We put a 5/8-inch sheetrock, which is the same as the thickness in the garage. Thicker, heavier panel.
Excuse me, could you go just a little slower?
Sure, I'm a fast talker. Sorry. Still standard casing that we've been using for quite a few years. Frisé carpet is standard in our homes nowadays. Just a little bit level up. They're coming out with a pile Frisé blend hybrid pretty soon. This is supposed to be pretty nice. The tough thing with Frisé is it lays down over a period of time and can look a little
And you
unsightly.
can replace parts if you need to,
Yeah.
without it
Lace them
showing.
back in.
So that's a real plus. With the new one, will that be possible, Chad?
Yes, absolutely.
What's it called again?
I don't know. It's a pile Frisé hybrid.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's coming up soon.
What's the standard inch pad that you put under it then?
We put a 6-pound pad. I don't do it in inches, so
Okay.
it's standard 8 pounds. The upgrade. Outside of that, you really don't need much else. I don't manage a lot of products that aren't fruitful for clients. It just doesn't make sense.
What's the allowance for this carpet? You know.
We are $14.50 a yard on this, yeah, and we are taking allowances out of our equations in new home building. Yeah, I manage stuff a little different. I had my sod guy come in and take every lot out here and give me a dollar cost average with an average house on it. So there's no more sod allowance. You build a house here,
Here's what.
it comes with the grass. Yeah.
Nice.
Same thing. You build it, we took the allowances out. We're putting packages together to manage better, which was very successful. I've used quite a few others.
So like the stairwell, the upgrades on the river carpet, that's part of it?
Yeah, we'll have packages. We just met with Ferguson Plumbing the other day, put some plumbing packages together. So you pick suites. It gets, you get to the elaborate package where you have an air charger for your garbage disposal, and you got a soap dispenser and 2 shower heads, and so on and so forth. It just makes life a lot
Basically,
easier.
they've made it simple for the consumer to understand.
You guys have all probably walked into like a Wilson Lighting or something like that before. I mean, how do you make your decisions? It can be painful for some people, so try to take the pain out of the equation and put a little
Do
enjoyment.
you work outside of that, though? Do you work outside of those packages?
We do. What I'm trying to target is my 70-30 rule or my 80-20 rule. 80% of the people were off for one of those packages, and we'll just have to manage those 20% of people the way they go. We knock down ceilings everywhere nowadays. Popcorn's gone to the wayside of the acoustic stuff. Thank goodness. Basically, They tape and mud all this, and they come in with a big machine. It's just the sheetrock mud that they use to tape this stuff, and then slur it up a little bit more and just blow it on the ceilings. Let it dry for about 10 or 15 minutes. Take these big vinyl paddles and just knock it down. Can lights nowadays, we're using the diffuser baffles as standard as opposed to the old can lights that bubble down. You still see that in some builders out there. Daylight windows. We made a little mistake in our design here. We should have had about another 6 inches to a foot here because of like your height. Look at it's kind of uncomfortable. So that still happens nowadays.
It still looks nice.
Yeah. Ceiling fans are kind of a mixed bag nowadays. They're starting to go to the wayside a little bit, like the attic fans and a few things like that. People don't. We're such a society of convenience nowadays. We either want the heat on or we want the air conditioner on. We don't want the stuff in between. Don't open the windows because you sound like me.
Yeah, the allergies that people have.
Yes.
Some of them have started leaving. This is a good room.
Cheyenne or Santa Fe doors, pretty typical nowadays. Old Red Bronze hardware.
Okay, I'll call you here in a bit.
This is probably the steel beam carrying through from one side of the house to the other. It's boxed out. Egress window well. If you have a bedroom, which has a closet in it, dictates that it's a bedroom, you'll have to have an egress window well. Cannot be over 44 inches high to up here to get out. And then 44 inches in the well also, you'll need a ladder inside there.
And why do you have to do that for it to be called a bedroom?
Fire.
Somebody can get out of it. What's behind you?
Probably water access panel.
Yep.
I sit in my office a lot and do a lot of. That's your main water line coming in. It's got a pressure regulator on. They're usually preset to about 50 pounds or somewhere.
In case something breaks up, you have a water leak. It's good to know where that's at.
And it's also good to coach your clients into not adjusting their pressure regulators to have the plumber do it, because all the fittings have acclimated to the existing pressure that's in the house. If they crank that, change it from 50 to 75, they can get a leak behind a wall and get mold and so forth. It's better done in small increments. It's probably better for them to pay a plumber to do something like that. This shuts the water off to the entire house. Perpendiculars off, parallels on. More redundant shutoffs. We've got one out the street. We've got shutoffs underneath every vanity here. So
if this
Redundant shot.
redundancies, the benefits
so
of
if
the
this
homeowner.
went to say resale in the future,
Correct.
and you have to, they're going to come and shut a lot of stuff off. Can we would they be able to shut that off themselves here without?
Yeah, they can
the water
shut it off.
company?
What he's saying is you can shut it off by just pulling this little handle.
Exactly.
But if you're going to adjust the pressure,
Right.
you would do it here.
No.
And he's recommending a plumber do it,
I got
not the
that.
individual person.
But if you should go to resale and they have to do, you say the water company has to shut the water off, they're going to still do it out there.
They'll do it outside.
They're not
It
doing
won't make
it
a
here.
difference in
So
that.
when we do resale and we want to get all this turned back on, then we still have to do it out there. Nothing's
water
controlled
company
in
has to
here
do
or
You got
gas.
the name of the water
All you gotta do is
company.
this lever.
We would do that, and that would take place of paying or waiting for them on an inspection or something.
Even after they turn the water on, do not go over to that individual's house and turn that thing on and leave.
You'll have a mess.
You may own the house.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, what if there's a leak and you turn the water on to
Right.
it and then the house floods?
I
You
did
did
that.
that.
They left the hot water tank valve open.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indemnify yourself as much as possible.
Yes.
Here's the main sewer clean out underneath here that drops out under the footings and goes down probably about 6 or 8 feet, 15 feet below the soil outside. It's normal to bury it under there as long as you know where it is.
How do you tell that? You just
I'm
walk
standing.
across
Because
it.
he
Yeah. And we don't do walkthroughs, we do homeowner orientations, orient the houses. We don't want to paint, gives a crap about the paint. I care about the structural integrity or how to shut off the water or something like that. And you would, have them, you'd mark this and tell them this is what it's for. So that's the main sewer cleanout, but we've got redundant cleanouts. Nowadays it's a business of redundancy, which is a benefit to the clients. Same thing with outlets. You've got so many. There's a ton in this. There's 5 or 6 in this one little room. You have a 6 and 12 code in the new 6 feet within the opening of a door, and then 12 feet after that you have to have an outlet. So the cities have changed it to the benefit. Some things to benefit the clients. Have a smoke detector in every bedroom, one on every floor, one outside every bedroom. There's so many of them. They're hardwired. They're 110 with 9-volt battery backups. Even an unfinished area we're at has a smoke detector in it. So one goes off, they all go off. Check them all.
Chad, over here where you have this full nose wall,
Uh-huh.
can you talk a little bit about how it's finished down by the trim?
Yeah, we go back to, this is the old corners here. It'll be spliced in.